Hey guys, welcome back to the garden, the food forest, or outside the food forest. I've made a setup like this because I want to talk about making tea. Making tea from this amazing plant. It's called a lot of wonderful names. Rosebay Willowherb. In Danish, it's Gederams. It's also, I think, in the US called Fireweed. Because it's a pioneer plant that often comes to cover the ground when there's been a fire, for instance. I don't think it can be mistaken for anything else. They are about 1.5 meters tall, and actually the whole plant is useful. You can use the young shoots like asparagus, and also some people say that you can use the young leaves in salads raw, but I don't know. I think they do get bitter very fast. But I have just discovered that I can make the most amazing fermented anti-inflammatory tea with this. And I've just done a batch, and I was so amazed at how lovely it is, lovely taste, but also I really enjoyed the smell of the fermentation. So that was a good 3-4 days that I was smelling this in the house. So the way I go about it, it's super easy. So that's why I wanted to make this video. You cut these a couple of hours before you actually are going to make the tea. So I'm going to show you. You see, these are not dried, but they're kind of floppy. So that's the best way, because then you can strip them like from the stems like this. And then what you do is you roll a couple of leaves in your hands quite hard, so you are sort of breaking up the leaves and bringing out the moisture in them so that they can ferment with their own moisture. And take a couple, 4 or 5 leaves at a time and roll them quite hard. I'm not gonna show you all of it, but it's super simple. Anyone can do it. And then what I did, I made this on beforehand, because I mean it's not a very exciting video to see me roll leaves for for half an hour, but this is some leaves that I just rolled about half an hour ago, and they are quite sort of moist and soft. And what I do, I leave them in this bowl, and I cover them with a lid that's not completely that's allowing a bit of oxygen to get into the leaves. And once, I think maybe once a day, I will turn them over like this and get a bit of oxygen inside of this fermentation process. When I smell it now, it's very much like it's very sort of green, like fresh cut grass. It's a lovely smell, and you can actually use it for tea as it is now. But the fermentation brings out like a sweet, delicious smell, and I was really enjoying that when I was turning it a couple of times, once or twice a day. I leave it like this for about 3-4 days. And then I take the lid off, and I turn it a couple of times a day to make it dry altogether. And then I just put it in a jar like this. The leaves are still together, and you can just add a couple in a cup without any filters or anything, and it makes a really sort of lovely Swedish, not a Swedish, but sweet-ish cup of tea that I very much enjoy. So I'm so pleased with this. I knew the shoots were edible, and actually the flowers are also edible, but I don't like them. I think they're also bitter because sometimes it's very dry. Often it's very dry here when they flower, so they get very bitter. They are loved by insects, and now I will be enjoying this herbal tea in the winter and thinking about the Rosebay Willowherb. I think it's a beautiful name also. Thanks for watching, and see you later.